got some time to burn. You know, we've been sitting in the truck together for the last 22 hours, and yeah, I need some relief. Justin has exhausted most of his questions and most of his comedic potential, and so figured to jump on. I had a couple questions that were posted in some other groups that I think it'd be good to talk a little bit about here as well. And also, if you jump on, let me know first if the audio is good, and then whatever questions you guys got. Be happy to talk about it, as the farming community is going through a lot of rapid changes almost at a daily pace, it seems. Get my hand out of the way there. There we go. Live chat. Hey, already got someone in there. All right, so one of the questions that came up was, you know, something we've talked about a lot lately, and everyone is wondering about is, you know, what kind of things should you plan for if you are in a direct-to-retail space, as far as changing production on the farm. Demand is probably increased if you are doing direct-to-retail, if you are servicing more of farmers markets or restaurants in these states that are in lockdown and quarantine. Obviously those markets have gone away, and so what do you do as a farm? What do you do with your farm? And I'll tell you what we've been doing. There had a question, is our farm getting busy? Let's see. Yep. Is your farm busy since the pandemic started? Yeah, you betcha. We're about 3 weeks into the demand just going through the roof. Our sales have probably doubled or tripled what we expected and projected, which is great. What has really taken off is drop shipping product. That is up probably 15 to 20 times a normal amount. And so we're seeing a lot of transition from what was, you know, very normal distribution channels and where product would go to something that's very new, as people are making an adjustment to, you know, the restrictions of either quarantines that they're under or just what they are comfortable with doing. And so a couple points that we had as you guys are looking at making a change, if you are engaged in a direct-to-retail farm, you have to look at what are the problems your customers are now facing and dealing with as they try to get food. So are they having a shortage issue at the store? Could be one of them. Went down to our local big box retailer on Saturday just to see what was going on, and meat shelves were cleared out, egg shelves were cleared out, and so that's just a shortage issue. I think that's something that supply chain will probably address soon enough and get new product in there, but that is something that is a problem for the customers right now. Another one would be their comfort level with going out and being around a lot of people in public. So maybe what you need to do is look at either a shipping or a drop model where you are delivering straight to their house, and so they don't have to deal with the concerns for their own safety and just anxiety about being out in the public, especially if they are in an area, say like a New York City or a DC or another city that's really dealing with a higher level of a breakout than maybe where we are in the rural areas. You can feel very detached on the farm that there's not many cases around where we are. Life can seem pretty normal, but it's totally different when you go out, when you go into these metro areas where things are really getting tightened down, and something that you don't see often in the United States. Last night we were on the road bringing a load of piglets up to Rhode Island, as there's National Guard checkpoints at the state border in Rhode Island, where they are directing all passenger vehicles with out-of-state plates in, and they're taking temperatures and asking them where they're going and requesting them to quarantine and so on. So as you're looking at, let's see what the chat's doing here. Traded cheese for toilet paper. There you go. If you are dealing with a rapidly changing market, the basic question that you need to ask yourself is, what are the problems and concerns that my customers are having right now? What can I do to adjust my distribution model to meet those needs and solve those problems for my customers? And that's going to be different for all of us in different places. But ask that question, answer it from the perspective of your customer, and you will find a venue to begin to move your product and expand your market into this. It's been pretty amazing to see the return to local and people wanting to support their local farms through this. There's been a real, I would say, awakening of community, of people coming together, at least where we are, and I think that's been a pretty cool thing. All right, questions. I sell freezer beef. My sales are through the roof. I'm having to buy beef from other farmers to meet my sales. That's from Joe Ferry. Yeah, absolutely, Joe. That's something that most direct-to-retail farms that I've talked to are experiencing. It really depends on the amount of product that you've held in inventory. If you've got enough product in inventory, you're still burning that down like we are. If you've got a shorter inventory, that stuff's already gone, and you're having to reach out to other producers and collaborate on backfilling the need. And if you've got other farms who have been hit hard in the restaurant sector or the more commodity distribution models where their sales have dried up, and so you can be a lifeline not only to customers who are looking for product, but also for farmers who are looking for an area to move their product, and you can help build your own community up. Okay, more live chats. Hello, Money Pit Homestead and Watson Farms. Our home delivery offering has really taken off. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What the public is looking for right now is convenience of the product. So look at streamlining. Well, let me back up a second. So first thing I did 2 weeks ago when we kind of sat down and had a little marketing powwow that, hey, this is going to be a big deal. And again, this is aside from whatever your personal thoughts are on the lethality or distribution of the virus itself. This is now into how the... All right, sorry about that. Modern technology can't solve all of our problems. All right, let's see where we're at. Can we send products to Florida? Yeah, front and center is how to ship, or what we ship and where it goes. Hello from northern Utah. Awesome to see you. Okay, so back to what I was talking about. We went and turned Google Ads back on. It's something that we've experimented with in the past. 2 weeks ago, went and turned that back on, and the metrics for that went through the roof. Getting a lot of hits, a lot of clicks, and orders really started pouring in. So if that's something you've messed with, it might be worth looking at again. But look to meet the needs of your customers and what they want. If they are wanting convenience, streamline your ordering process. And so what I was getting at was one of the things we offer is a reoccurring subscription service. So hey there, Jacob Farms, Villamore Farm, Pittsburgh/Philippines. That's quite a distance between your farms there, from Pittsburgh and the Philippines. I'm sure you mean something else. But thanks for hanging out here, dudes. So if you can have a reoccurring subscription type of thing, and people can sign up for that for an auto ship, that works really well. We've had a lot of people signing up for that lately. Common question that I've gotten, and I'm sure is being heavily discussed, is how long is this going to last? And who knows? Here in Virginia, we are in a soft quarantine at least through June 30th, and so that's keeping all non-essential businesses closed. So for a lot of our immediate local area distribution, I'm sure the disruption is going to continue for at least the next 2 months, and that's really what we are looking at here, is a disruption event. And the key thing for you to do as an owner and as a leader in a disruption event is to stay very flexible in your posture. Meaning, do not assume the way things are today is what they're going to be next week, what they're going to be a month from now. So stay very light on your feet. Now, what does this mean when it comes back to production, because if you are producing proteins, beef, pork, lamb, poultry, these things take a lot of time to produce. So you're going to have to make a decision at what is your comfort level with taking on the risk of additional production. If that's what you're going to do, you could look at producing more of whatever is the quickest to produce and also the quickest that you can reel back should your market resume to normal or you see a slowdown. And so for us, that's chicken. That's what we're looking at doing a lot more of. We're also reconfiguring a little bit of what we do with our hog herd so that we can get more pork in the pipeline quickly. And that's what we're looking to do for ourselves. And then you can begin to also have conversations with these other farms that have lost market or are looking to get in, that you can act as the intermediary, the retail and distribution side, and have other producers behind you backfilling your shortage. So a couple questions there. Grab them real quick, like that. All right, let's see. Have you put together a shipping tutorial? Daniel Martin there. I have not, because I don't need to. The guys over at Gray's Cart have a $1,500 course that they have on shipping that they are doing for free right now. It's probably up for maybe another month still. So if you just Google Gray's Cart and go over to their website, you can probably find that. And I've heard they've gotten thousands of people signing up to go through that course, and it's for free right now. So check them out and let them know I sent you. Let's see. Work in Pittsburgh and travel back and forth and farm in the Philippines. Yeah, I assumed that's probably what you were doing. Where in the Philippines are you? I've spent a little time at Clark Airfield back in the Marine Corps days, and it's a beautiful country. Let's see, not to kiss ass or anything, but I found your channel and you're inspiring me. Awesome, glad to see that, man. Let's see. Okay, got some good questions there. What do you do with a sow that fails to deliver piglets, meaning she has a retained litter? Really, the only thing you can do is give her, you can talk to your vet and get that fairly cheaply. And, typical dose is probably going to be 2 to 3 cc's. You would do that immediately after noticing that there's a problem to restart her labor. And you may have to glove up and lube up and go fishing up in there and try to get those piglets out. If you are successful in doing that, I would immediately give her a shot of either penicillin or of Draxxin, which she's going to need an antibiotic for that contamination. And then I would call her out as soon as she's healed up from that and you've gone through your decon on the antibiotic, the withdrawal time. I mean, that's not an animal you want in your herd, but sometimes you have to deal with the immediate issue. All right, any other questions? Yeah. Cool. So many different chats. Top chat, live chat, super chats, no chats. So our approach to all this is, you do have to get to a point where you begin to prioritize which customers you are going to service. For us, this is our 11th year of operating. We have some very long-time customers. That is who we are going to prioritize, are the long-time faithful customers. We know what they order on an average kind of basis, service those folks until we can refill inventory. After that, we're filling new people who are coming in from the local area, and then shipping. And the last thing that we're filling is wholesales, because that is our lowest margin area. And what we've done there is we are not accepting any new wholesale customers. Our current ones have been ordering insanely more than normal, and that's fine because we have working relationships with them and we want to help them out. We have one distributor in Northern Virginia that raised $10 million in a week to feed homebound people and kids who are out of school. And so they're buying a lot of product from local farms to meet that, and we've been sending them a lot of stuff, but obviously we can't come anywhere near close to that level. But we're going to up what they need. But if new companies and distributors are coming around looking for wholesale stuff, we're not letting them in the club. Basically, they can buy from us, but it's going to be at retail, And so that's kind of the priority structure that we put in place on who's going to get the product. Aside from the business, are you and yours safe? Yeah, as far as I know, I think there's only been 2 known cases of coronavirus in our whole county. Obviously, we're taking some precautions. We're not going out in town much. When we are, we're following the social distancing, wearing gloves in different places. I've not gone to the full respirator deal, but we've also begun to have discussions among the staff on what are we going to do if someone were to get it, and who's going to pick up the slack, how are we going to deal with the quarantine thing. Called in some reinforcements. Buddy whose business is pretty much shut down right now, he's come up to help us out. And we've had some new people that have started, people coming back from maternity leave, so we've been able to staff up quickly in the last 2 weeks to kind of meet the customers that we're dealing with. I saw some more questions there. Do you see this being a long-term uptick in local buying? We'll come back to that one. Do you grow vegetables? No, we don't do any vegetables at all. We are just in the animals. All right, do you see this being a long-term uptick in local buying? Who knows? It could be for your farm if you have your messaging and marketing on point. The beauty of this kind of disruptive event is that it causes a cracking in the status quo. It breaks up what are normal channels of distribution, what are normal modes of procurement that people have, and so they're actually looking for new things. Like I was talking before about our Google ads, when we were running them last year, we were running an average of maybe 300 to 400 impressions a day and maybe 20 to 50 clicks. Pretty much the same ad set right now is running 20,000 impressions a day and 300 to 500, maybe 800 clicks. And so there are a lot more people looking for local stuff. And the number one search term that we're seeing is meat. That's pretty much what people are looking for, and it's because the store shelves are empty. So your introduction to those new customers has just become a lot easier, and now it's your job. We've just had a prize plum drop in our laps in a marketing perspective, that a bunch of customers came looking for you, came looking for us without us having to go after them. I can tell you that is a very rare thing to have happen. And so now really the work begins on your marketing effort, on how are you, they had a good experience, your customer care is on point, and now the job begins, how are you going to retain those customers and keep them in the fold? And that is, I think, done best through consistent messaging about what your farm is all about, being very transparent about what's important. You certainly can address the concerns those customers will have in this kind of crisis of how many people have touched the product, your chain of custody. That's something that is, I think, going to be really important right now, is how many people are putting hands on it, the biosecurity measures you're taking with your distribution model, and so on. Be very transparent in messaging with these new people about what you're doing, and also saying, hey, we're glad you're here. You are really important to local food security. You've seen the empty shelves. That's why it's important to support local farms that you can go out and buy directly from. Don't overdo it with that, but now is the work to retain those customers. And if you got 100 new customers over the last week and you can keep 25, 30 of them, you're doing a good job. All right, more questions. Do we grow vegetables? Cases are only people tested. Many more than those numbers have had it and already recovering and didn't even know it, meaning the death rate is much lower than the corporate media claims. That's not what I'm arguing about. I think that's actually totally irrelevant to what we're dealing with as farms and as businesses right now. There's what the virus does itself, and then there's what the government reaction to it is, the media's reaction, and the public at large's reaction. And our approach is, we are responding to what the market is doing. We're not here to tell people they're overreacting and that they're freaking out unnecessarily. We're here to say thank you so much for finding our farm. We are so we're so humbled and thrilled that you want to support us, and we want to give you the best product we can. We want to serve you in the best way that we can, and just leave it at that. We don't need to convince anyone of anything else right now, because the actual facts are pretty hard to know, I would say, and to be 100% blunt on it, it is irrelevant right now to what you are doing as a business and as a marketing entity. But I hear what you're saying there. I've heard a lot of people saying that. Do we use? Can certainly help awareness. People are looking for food outside of grocery stores. Absolutely. Like I said, this is a gem that is dropped in the lap of the local food movement, and we should certainly be there for our communities as much as we can and not be dropping the ball right now. This is the time for maximum effort. Thank you, Bryn Jackson. Appreciate the compliments. Do we use Gray's Cart ourselves? No, we do not. And the reason for that is we have a custom-built e-commerce site that was done before Gray's Cart that works very well with integration into QuickBooks and how our system works. And we paid a lot of money for it, so I'm really not looking to walk away from that right now to tackle a new e-commerce system, which right now you should not be looking to switch platforms. Losing my voice here. Did an Instagram one for 30 minutes before this. You should not be looking to learn a new e-commerce platform right now. It's probably not the best idea in the stress of everything that's going on. C1 Chief, how many pigs would you recommend for 3 acres in forest? So your standard stocking rate for sows is roughly 2 per acre. So you're about 1,000 pounds of pig per acre is a good way to equivalent it, whether through sows or feeder pigs. What distribution model do you think is most desired currently? Any related resource? That's from Jacob Farms. Shipping, definitely. Drop shipping has gone up for us 20 times. 20x growth. On farm has gone up maybe 3 times. Drop sites has gone up 2 or 3, a multiple of 2 or 3. We are adding in new drops, but certainly shipping is what has exploded. Good resource for that is grayscart.com. Check them out. They are offering their shipping course for free, which is like $1,500 normally. If you sign up in the next month or so, you can go through their entire tutorial on how to set your farm up for drop shipping, and you can get in the game. All right, awesome. Check some of the other chats. All right, well, I just want to jump with you guys for a little bit here. Probably going to get off and rest the voice a little bit. Maybe listen to some music. So we're on our way back to our farm in Virginia. Took a big load of pigs up to Rhode Island last night, and we have to turn around and take 2 more up there within the next week. And these are customers that we had lined up a year ago, and they were glad to see us today because their markets are exploding as well. Kind of ties into the last thing made an Instagram post about today. Hey, remember in these times of crisis that your integrity as a brand, as a farm, and as a person is more important than the quick buck that you might be able to make taking advantage of this opportunity, because there are 2 sides to this coin. This is a great marketing opportunity for us and for local food. Certainly, want to take full advantage of that and are grateful for that. But this is also a disruption event of pretty epic proportions. If you look at the market disruption that's going on, the job layoffs, the chaos that's going on, this is a big deal. There's a lot happening, and we certainly don't want to revel in other people's about jacking prices up on stuff just because competitors are out of product and looking to take advantage of the market. I saw some dude selling surgical masks on Facebook the other day. Brand, the integrity of your person, who your farm situation like there for them and you in the long run. Then a cell phone death zone here. So just to wrap it up, do the right thing by your customers, do the right thing for your farm, if you're going to expand, have a plan, lean into it hard, I would say. Be default aggressive, constantly be looking at those numbers and know when to pull it back so you don't overspend and run yourself dry. And as the old saying is, overrun your headlights. So check in here later on this week. Try to do a few more of these, and we'll see you guys around. Appreciate you hanging out. One last check of the checks. Where in Virginia? I am in Chesapeake. We are up in Shenandoah County, between Harrisonburg and Winchester. All right, dudes. Until next time, we'll see you around. Be safe out there on the farm. Remember, get after it.